Oh my god, Chained Echoes, what is going on? Where did you even come from? When I made my top 10 games list for 2022, I didn't think there was a snowball's chance in hell I would play something in the last week of December to make my list obsolete, let alone climb to the very top of it. Yet, here we are. So what's the story with Chained Echoes? Well, it's a Kickstarter game created by a crazy person, Matthias Linda. He worked on this game for about 2.5 years at home after his day job before launching the Kickstarter. And why he's a crazy person is he developed this game pretty much 100% by himself. And as for the type of game it is, it's a turn-based RPG with beautiful sprite work, a world map, and friggin' mechs. You could be forgiven for maybe thinking it's just another indie RPG inspired by the classics that doesn't do anything particularly new. But if you did, you'd be wrong. Sure, it takes inspiration from Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, Secret of Mana, etc., and it straight up gives those games huge nods. But it's not jarring, and it's just a nice little wink for people who played those games. Chained Echoes is its own thing and is good enough to stand with the RPG classics it takes inspiration from. But why do I think it's the best RPG of 2022? I'll tell you why. For me, story and characters are king when it comes to RPGs. Nothing is more important to me. Sure, gameplay, graphics, music, those are all important too. I'm not saying they aren't. It's just for me, when it comes to playing an RPG, nothing keeps me more motivated than a good story does. And Chained Echoes' story left me completely satisfied, even with its unresolved plot points that will hopefully be resolved in an upcoming DLC, or better yet, a sequel, as it certainly sets one up. As a longtime fan of RPGs, I love how this game starts. It starts with an intro scene ripped straight out of Chrono Trigger, but then it deviates when the main character is slapped awake to the news he's on a suicide mission, while us the player is figuratively slapped awake too. It's almost like the game is signaling that this isn't the story you think it's going to be, and it sure wasn't. Its story left me, in a good way, in a state of incredulity many times by means of several different story aspects. The story's mic-dropping revelations, unexpected character relationships, and its commitment to dark and sometimes disturbing sexual themes hit me with such impact I was often dumbstruck. The fact that I am not used to seeing dark themes in 16-bit RPGs added to the impact. This is something I never thought I would play, a 16-bit RPG made for adults. And f*** me, the world building in this game is fantastic. It's so f***ing good. So much love, care, and forethought has been put into the world building. This can't be the last game set in this world. And the game's lore is easy to digest. It's usually delivered through tight exposition, story reveals, and several easily found books. The game just gives you the lore. You don't have to go out of your way to find it. A lot of modern games like Destiny, Skyrim, Elden Ring, and Final Fantasy 15 make players work to fully understand the story. And if done well like Elden Ring, that's fine. I liked piecing together the mystery of that world through its cryptic dialogue, reading item descriptions, and its wiki pages. But if I'm being honest, I'd rather not have to do that. I'd rather just sit back and enjoy the story with all of its complexities with minimum effort. And that's exactly what Chained Echoes does. The darker mood and more mature rating also results in Chained Echoes having a memorable and unique cast when it comes to 16-bit RPGs. How each character's past shapes and influences their decision-making is one of the narrative's strongest points, especially since it is a darker game and many of them have complicated or tragic backstories. And I love seeing the characters curse when mad or under duress. Saying "f*** you" or "you're full of shit" just made them feel more real. And again, not used to seeing it in this style, so it felt more impactful. I did read some comments that some people had some issues with the dialogue in terms of its quality, but if I'm being totally honest, I didn't notice anything the whole damn game. But Maybe that's simply because I played so many mediocre translations in my day that maybe my mind just automatically filled in the blanks. But even saying that, I don't think you should let those comments stop you from playing this. The story and characters are strong even with this fault. And that ending, holy crap, I did not see that coming. But that's a lot of this game. Maybe you'll call a few twists and turns, but the narrative did a good job playing off the assumptions I had about the direction of the story and then turning them on their head. I love a game that can do that. And the visuals, beautiful. And violent. First off, everything is so dense. The houses are full of clutter, the natural environments have tons of little animals and pieces of nature, and cities have lots of NPCs milling about. The world is rich and worth traversing, and enemies roam the field so there are no random encounters. Second, the violence. Sprites stabbing each other and bleeding all over, for example. You just didn't see that back in the day. In Final Fantasy VI, for example, you would have sprites poke or slap one another. And as the player, we'd have to fill in those blanks with our imagination. Not here though, and it really helps sell the story's more mature narrative. They did it in Triangle Strategy too, and I loved it.
Yo! What?
The music was the only thing not done by Matthias Linde during development. It was done by Eddie Maria Nucro, and he kills it. I know I've played many games where everything blends together when it comes to music, but not this game. Every town and environment have a great sense of identity because of the soundtrack. And of course, the battle tracks are good too. Thank God, because there are so many intense moments in the story, it would be disappointing if the battle themes didn't deliver. Then, aside from the story, I would say the battle system is the biggest accomplishment. The overdrive system, the battle system's main mechanic, is genius. It encouraged me to be strategic in what actions I used, rewarded me for keeping focused attention on character turn order, and with the ability to swap characters in and out on the fly, it ended up being one of the most fun and challenging turn-based battle systems I've ever played. The other game design elements are as well thought out as the story and battle system too. The journal board, for example, all your fetch, kill, exploration quests, etc. are located here. No bullshit, no unnecessary dialogue, just read the board, do the thing, and get the reward. Such a time saver, and the way it was laid out combined with how you claim rewards made it really fun to use. I really enjoyed it as it was only a menu button away and was a nice little side activity to keep track of. The real side quests though, great. They're actual side quests. A lot of them add to the game's world building and some of them straight up have recruitable playable characters in them. None of them are fluff and they're all worth doing. How many RPGs can you say that about? The Sky Armors 2, aside from shaking up the battle system, completely change how the game feels. They offer a ton of freedom suddenly and allow you to go back and explore many previous areas to unlock their secrets. The game has a linear first half, but a much more open second half. Not quite as much as Final Fantasy VI, I would say. But the trade-off is the story maintains much more of its momentum in the second half and results in a stronger finish. I think this game does a great job in providing more freedom, but not at the expense of the story, which to me is the most important part. And the coup de grace is there is a fortress building minigame. Matthias.
You got a gift, my friend.
As if I wasn't loving the game enough already. The recruits you find add various gameplay perks or give you access to shops. I only really have two complaints about the game. First, the crystal system where you combine crystals and infuse them in weapons or armor to instill specific perks is a bit convoluted and a smidge too randomized. I like the idea of it, but farming the crystals you want can take a lot of work. And when I played the game, there was a bug that made specific crystals spawn more frequently than others, but it has since been fixed. And my other complaint is by the time I went to buy the collector's edition for the Switch, it was already sold out. This, for many of you, could be the best RPG coming out of 2022. If you play it. If you're anything like me, and you grew up playing the same classics as Matthias Linde did, play it for him. He's one of us. Matthias, I am so damn proud of you. You made your dream come true, and you made a damn fine game. I only have one question for you. When's the sequel? I'm just kidding. I know it took you 7 years to make this game, so... But no, seriously, when's the sequel? Anyway, thanks for watching this video, everybody. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like and please subscribe. Peace!